Hello, today I'm going to show you how I've installed this fabulous growing arch into our garden. I'm Zorab and this is Byther Farm. Creating a new garden is a really exciting process, but one of the things I realised was that even though we brought quite large shrubs with us, not even the trees that we brought with us are terribly tall. So if I want to grow vertically, then I need to think a bit more carefully about it. So I spoke to our friends at Direct Plants and said, this is what I've got in mind. Is this something we could do? What I wanted was something that I could grow things up and over, that would be strong enough to take the weight of the plants, but light enough to let the wind pass through it so it stayed stable. And here we are. It's a new growing arch. It's available from Direct Plants, and I'm really pleased to have the first one. We used sticks and string to mark out the area where the rose arch was going to go, and then banged the ground posts into the soil. While it looks like it was really quick, it wasn't quite this easy. We needed to make sure they were vertical, and each ground post needs to stick out of the ground about 6 inches. Next I put in the arch poles. They need to go in the right way up, and the easy way to tell is that one side is straight and it also has 2 small holes drilled through it at the lower end of the bit that goes into the ground post. Next, I took all the side bars and the centre bar and I laid them out approximately where they were going to be. It's worth spending a bit of time doing this so that you're not halfway through doing something that's fiddly and delicate or overhead and find that you haven't got access to the pole that you want right then. Next, put the fixing pieces onto the half arches. You want 2 on each arch pole on each side, and I put them on so that the fixings would be underneath the side rail. Use the Allen key to tighten the small nuts that are already in those fixings. You don't need to find them elsewhere, they're already in place for you. Thread the first pole of the side bar through the coupling and fasten it. Don't do it up too tight because you may want to adjust it as time goes on. Starting at one end out of your rose arch tunnel, put the central connector pieces in. When you put these on, you need to make sure that you can see the hole in the centre completely, because that's going to have a pole passing through it. Make sure when you put that first sidebar on that you're going through the lower of the couplings so that you can then slide the top one up and put those on later on. And once again, I put these on so that the nut and screw was underneath the fitting, which made it much easier for me to access it to be able to tighten or loosen it. Fix the sidebar to the first couple of hoops as I was building it, and then completed the archway at the top. I worked my way along the length of the arch, completing one hoop and threading the top bar through it and fixing that together, and worked my way up. I found this easier than making one long bar and trying to fix that to the hoops, which is how we'd built our polytunnel previously. This for me just made it section by section, and it made it much simpler to do. This is the point I think it would have been easier with 2 people, for one to hold and to help lift the poles up. But as you can see, it is doable for one person, even if you have to go on tiptoes quite a lot. I think in terms of health and safety, some small steps might have been more useful. Although I secured all the pieces together, I didn't do up those nuts really tightly until at the end, when I was happy with it was all put together properly. And it's worth not doing them up too tightly to allow yourself to make some adjustments as you go along. This growing arch tunnel is available in sizes from 16 feet to 48 feet and widthwise either 10 feet or 14. This tunnel is 10 feet wide and 48 long. Once you've put together the arches and the top bar, don't forget to complete both sets of sidebars on both sides. Take each pole and lift it up, and where those small holes were that you saw at the beginning in the posts, pass a nail through one set of the holes and then lower it back down. This raises your whole growing arch a bit higher and makes it level. After I completed the construction, I came out several times with the Allen key and just loosened these fastenings to adjust the height of the cross pieces. I'm still not entirely convinced I've got them exactly where I want them, and likewise I need to come through and adjust the centre pole just to make sure that's absolutely straight. But that's the joy of this, it can be adjusted as you need it to. And these crossbars can be at any height that you want them to. I recommend that you have one just at the top of the straight part of this pole, and then one about halfway round between there and the centre section. But where you put it and where exactly you want it obviously is up to you. In the video description I'll leave a link to where you can buy this on Direct Plant's website. And next time we'll have a look at some of the plants I'm choosing to plant and think about some of the other things you could grow on one of these arches. And so, wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one, and I also hope you'll join me again next time.